walking around with a fucked up mental. I still talk money like bust down dinos. Like a chief, I just got the touchdown window. Still ducking feds, selling drugs, not simple. I'ma take a risk before my funds get little. Interrogation, we give up no info.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Young Whoop back with some more on the block news, man. Before I even get this shit started, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, man. Not later, but right now. Also hit the links in the description. Get acquainted with everything I got going. You already know social media is all that shit. But listen, man, today's topic of conversation. Justice was finally served. Man sentenced to death for rape and murder of a 5-year-old girl. A man convicted of rape and murder of a 5-year-old girl in eastern Alabama nearly 3 years ago was sentenced to death by a judge on Monday, following a 3-day trial last week. A Russell County jury on Friday found 39-year-old Jeremy Tremaine Williams guilty of 4 counts of capital murder and the torture and slaying of Kamari Holland, according to court officials. The girl's body was found by police on December 13, 2021, in a vacant home in Phoenix City, about 80 miles east of Montgomery, near the Georgia-Alabama state line. Jurors also found Williams guilty of 1 count each of sodomy, sexual abuse of a child less than 12, production of obscene material involving a child, human trafficking, conspiracy to commit human trafficking, and abuse of a corpse. A court spokesperson told to USA Today last month Williams pleaded guilty in the case, but Alabama law requires a jury to determine if a suspect in a death penalty case is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Circuit Court Judge David Johnson handed down a death sentence on Monday, and on Tuesday, Alabama Department of Corrections records show Williams was being transported to Holman Correctional Facility, which houses the state's death row inmates. Kamari Holland sold by her mother for $2,500 for 1 hour of sex. Prior to Kamari's death, the child's grandmother, Christy Hoskins, had reported her missing from their home in Columbus, Georgia, according to the Montgomery Advertiser, part of the USA Today network. Trial testimony revealed that Kamari's mother sold her to Williams for $2,500 so he could sexually abuse the child. WTVM-TV reported. Kamari's mother, Christy Sipple, charged with human trafficking. Columbus Police Department officers said they found Kamari's body in the abandoned home where Williams previously lived, with signs of sexual abuse and asphyxiation. Court records show Williams and the child's mother, Christy Sipple, were later indicted on charges in connection to the girl's death. Sipple was charged with human trafficking. According to her arrest warrant, Sipple agreed with another person to pay her for having sexual intercourse and sodomy with her minor child. Sipple pleaded guilty last month to 1 count of human sex trafficking. A court spokesperson said she faces up to 20 years in prison. As of Tuesday, her sentencing date had not been set yet. Prior to being convicted, Williams had been suspected in at least one other child abuse case before. In Alabama, he was charged with abuse of children in Phoenix City in 2009 and acquitted by a jury in 2012. Following the verdict, WTVM-TV reported Kamari's father, Corey Holland, said his daughter would not be forgotten, seeing that justice was finally served. "I'm deeply grateful," he told the outlet. So let's talk about it. You feel me? I said this before, a lot of women, they blessed to be able to have a child, but not every woman deserves a child. You feel me? Not every woman deserves to be blessed with a child. You feel me? Because it ain't no way you doing that bad to where you selling your 5-year-old daughter, you trying to turn her off to tricks. You feel me? And then you turn her on to a nigga who end up asphyxiation. I ain't looked up the definition yet, but I'm pretty sure it got something to do with, smothering a motherfucker or something, stopping a motherfucker from breathing. You feel me? So I'm kind of confused that why would you pay 2,500 and then kill a little girl too? Like, ain't none of this shit right. I don't condone none of it. You feel me? I feel like the same charge the man gets, the mother should get because she subjected her child to that type of harm, to that type of danger. You feel me? If it wasn't for the mother accepting monetary payment or agreeing to the shit, her child would still be here. If it wasn't for the desperation of the mother, you feel me? And I feel like, we in this time, motherfuckers doing drugs for real, for real. I know back in the day, we probably crack, whatever, but now you got motherfuckers shit off perks, they off lean, they off heroin, they probably still off coke and shit, and then it's like right in our faces, you could turn on the internet and see motherfuckers getting high type shit. So, that's still not no excuse. I ain't never so addicted to something that I want to sell anybody in my family for sex or traffic anyone in my family. You feel me? That shit ain't right. But rest in peace to the little girl. Throw the mama under the jail too. And as far as the daddy goes, I can only imagine his pain. But that's why we as men, we got to be careful who we choose to lay down with, because that could be detrimental to our kids' survival, But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, man. Not later, but right now. My name is Young Woo. This is On a Blind.
Williams has been wanting to do this from day one. Obviously, we had an obligation to make sure he's competent to make these decisions. Had to make sure his constitutional rights were protected. That he fully knew everything he's charged and all the punishments that were involved. So it's taking this length of time to get here, but Mr. Williams wanted to do this from day one. And so we got him to a point where he got what he wanted. And so now we'll move on to the next phases and we'll see what happens then. What happens now is that there's a jury trial. There's a jury trial and the jury has to be death qualified. And it's just like any other capital murder case. And all we did today is evidence that he is guilty, but it is not proof that he is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So at the next phase, the state will have the burden of providing more evidence to go along with this evidence to prove he's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If they determine that he is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, then we go to the next phase. That next phase is a sentencing phase. And at that phase, that's when aggregating and mitigating evidence is presented to determine whether or not he would get death or life without parole.
Come down to it, I'ma bust my pistol. And I go to sleep with my gun like pillows. Niggas won't smoke, get puffed like Indo. I love Don, smoke doves, not nickels. 3% tint, so no sun through the windows. Ain't a Hellcat, then I'm thugging in a benzo. Bad bitches get fucked like nymphos. Punch it like I hate it, but she love this dick though. Sloppy toppy while my tongue in the middle. Skin so soft, back rub so gentle. Surf sipper, double cupping like it's porch projects to a duplex. Next is the mortgage. Stack so much paper, we ain't worried about a shortage. Moving packs like U-Hauls, clearing out the storage. What goes around comes around like an orbit. Don't ask what I paid for it, knowing that you can't afford it. Fruits of my labor, thinking how they ain't supported. Peep the looks on their faces when I came up in a foreign. Probably up running, chasing paper while you snoring. Made 100 off rap, I ain't never been touring. I get money and stay out the way, baby I'm boring. They got questions, I'm the answer, bitch I'm ballin' like Jordan. Made it out the trenches, I'ma turn it to a fortress. Getting money easy, I ain't never had the forces. Drug sales get reported, they gon' tell law enforcement clientele. Fuck with me, they'll never get shorted. P hats for the hood, so they always getting sported, So they always getting sported. P hats for the hood, so they always getting sported, nigga.